How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach. When feeling out of sight for the ends of being an ideal grace. This famous line from Elizabeth Barrett Browning is the very voice of the poet regarding the love, the intensity of love. This particular line, or the concept of the line, or the concept that defines love, is the very point of discussion here. Hello, I am Ardhendu De. Today we are going to discuss love at first sight, or love as a core theme that has been often being described, the very feelings of falling in love with someone the very first time you see them. In literature, in cinema, it is frequently being described as an instantaneous and powerful attraction to someone based only on their physical appearances or that kind of attraction. Now, it is necessary to highlight that this kind of falling in love at the first sight is a romantic idea. The very scientific base of it is very thin. Even though it is thin, it has been widely being used by the poets in poetry, in novel, in drama. So we will first discuss how important the notion of love at first sight in literature. It is being frequently employed as a literary device in literature and a kind of immediate connection, a romance between characters. Now, in most of the romantic literature and in most of the plays, novels, poems, throughout the history we can find out this concept of love at first sight. It's a kind of a suspense, a kind of a drama, the conflict, the difficulties endured the characters face to overcome their objectives of love becomes the very core subject in many of the literatures. Added to that, we can also add few points, the very concept love at first sight, a kind of a investigating nature of love. Why we love at first? Why we love by the physical attraction? Is it a fate? Is it a destiny? Now, critics of cultural conventions and expectations around love and relationship have found out that this kind of love at first sight is unnecessary. Even though it is unnecessary, we the people, we the readers, we the author are fancy about love at first sight. Now, in many of the literature, this device has been employed and the readers are free to utilize that kind of notion and to comprehend the very context why this type of literature is being composed, where love at first sight is the pivotal point. Now, as a reader, we all have a soft core, and when it is a matter of love, we are all fancied about love and how it can be romantic if there is no love at first sight or loving someone instantly. Now, there are many examples of love at first sight in English literature. If we dive deep into the literary text, we will find them. The Romeo Juliet that comes to my mind first, and As You Like It, both written by William Shakespeare. Now, Romeo Juliet, the play is most probably the most famous of the love at first sight in literature. Romeo and Juliet fall in love instantly upon seeing each other for the first time at a ball. Now, Shakespeare's this emotional drama, the star-crossed lovers, that particular phrase it comes, it is one of the most renowned love stories in literature. And here is the lyrical beauty and the monologues that are much attractive. In As You Like It, the Rosalind and Orlando instantly fall in love. Even Oliver and Celia also fall in love. Now, in Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights is a kind of a passionate love. Irreconcilable principles of energy and calm are ultimately harmonized in this piece. The Heathcliff and Catherine's relationship might be seen as a love at first sight. They meet as children and are instantly drawn to each other. Despite the fact that they come from different social classes, ultimately the unions of theirs and the journey en route that love is the very story. Now, John Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Here, John Eyre and Mr. Rochester fall in love. They are having some different backgrounds, have different personalities, but they have overcome it by the notion of love and loving at first sight or loving instantly. Again, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Elizabeth and Darcy's relationship begin with a strong dislike for each other, but in the core of their heart there had been an attraction. They soon realized that it was love at first sight when they meet again. I mean, even though the initial reactions was the hatred towards each other, ultimately they are united with the passion of love. The string of love that I have been discussing here can be seen in The Great Gatsby by Scott Fitzgerald. Gatsby and Daisy's relationship begin with love. The love story in this novel is the very core subject. Now we can multiply these references, we can multiply so many of the instances here. We can say that many of the authors have their works on the popular theme of love and loving at first sight. Even in contemporary literature, we can say many of the instances of this love. For example, we can say The Lady of the Lake by Sir Walter Scott. The story revolves around the knight named Fitzjames, who falls in love with a mysterious lady he sees at a distance in a lake and goes on a quest to find her. So it is the journey of love. Persuasion by Jane Austen. The main character, Annie Elliot, falls in love with Captain Wentworth at first sight, but due to some societal pressure and persuasion from others, she breaks up their engagement. But in later years, it happens that they meet again, and the novel follows their second chance at love. So here, love at first sight has been so deep-rooted that they can deny the possibility of living together in the future course of their life. The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Here, Dorian Gray is infatuated with Vane, an actress, and it had been from a tragic downfall. The Thorn Birds by Colin McCullough. Here, Brickerstut, a Catholic priest, falls in love with Maggie at first sight, despite the fact that she is a married woman. Their love story spans decades and is a major focus in this novel. The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. Noah and Ellie falls in love and they are on a summer vacation in a small town. Their love story spans over many years and is told through a series of flashbacks. Now these examples of the love, romantic love, infatuated love, love at first sight, with variety of context, with variety of lifestyles. But in classical literature to contemporary romance novels, everywhere there is such usage of love at first sight as a theme and as an emotion. Now we will take some examples from classical text. The Epic of Gilgamesh, the ancient Sumerian epic poem that tells about Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk, who falls in love with Enkidu, a wild woman at first sight. Their friendship, the very forms of the story. The Aeneid by Virgil, the Trojan prince, Aeneas falls in love with the queen of Carthage, Dido. And their love story is a significant part of the poem and ultimately leads to Dido's tragic end. Now in Odyssey by Homer, the goddess Aphrodite makes the princess Nausicaa fall in love with Odysseus at first sight when he is shipwrecked on her island and she helps him. Metamorphosis by Ovid. The poem includes many stories of love at first sight, including the story of Narcissus, who falls in love with his own reflection, and the story of Pygmalion, who falls in love with a statue he has carved. So here the artist falling with his creation. In the Valmiki Ramayana, the love of Rama and Princess Sita and their love story constitute the very major plot, and the epical journey of this is based on their love relationship and how this greatest love story has become the all-time favorite in Indian mythology. In Mahabharata, we can say the story of Arjuna and Subhadra. Their love at first sight, their elopement together, despite the fact that she is the sister of his enemies. So despite all this, their love story ensues. Now again, we can note from Indian mythology, from the Purana story, we can find out the greatest of the love story, Radha and Krishna, from Bhagavad Purana. Radha, a cowherd girl, falls in love with Krishna at first sight, and their love story is the ultimate example of devotion and love, and the very definition of love in Hinduism. In Shiv Purana, the Parvati Shiva love tale, where Parvati, the very daughter of the king of mountains, fall in love with Shiva at first sight, and their love story is considered one of the most important love stories in Indian mythology, in Shaivism, as well as the study of love, the devotional love ensues from their story. The Devi Bhagavatam, the story of Soti and Shiva, where Soti, the daughter of the king Dakshoraj, falls in love with Shiva at first sight, and is considered an important one in Shaktism or in Shaivism. So these stories from Greek Puranas or from Indian mythologies demonstrate a kind of concept of love at first sight. And It has been used as a literary device for explaining or exploring the theme of devotion, sacrifice, or the power of love. This type of myths has been passed down through generations and constitute a kind of very important part in Greek and Indian mythology as well as in culture and traditions. So in conclusion, we might say in the discussion that as a literary troupe that has appeared in the works of literature from all periods and cultural backgrounds, this love at first sight device has been employed. It is frequently employed as a literary device and as a sense of immediate attraction or romance, highlighting the very tension or the drama in a kind of a narrative, be it a narrative poem, be it a narrative drama or a kind of novel. So it examines the very nature of love, the significance of physical attraction, and the notion of fate or destiny is also been examined here. But it should be understood that this type of love at first sight not always ensues a good result. It may end in tragic drama too, tragic incident too. So to understand the very historical and cultural context in which the kind of literature was written, we might examine the very concept of love in that perspective. As it is versatile, different kind of literatures from classical to contemporary, everywhere this kind of notion, this kind of love at first sight notion has been employed only to make the very story convincing. Even we can examine the very nature of love through the perspectives of time, through the perspectives of historical happening, class and culture. But it happens throughout the world literature. So this is all about this. If you have any question, you can ask me. You can go through the links that I have provided for further studies. Like, share, comment and obviously subscribe to my channel. Bye bye. Thank you.